We be live!
Proudly not serving the Tao for over 10 years. That's right.
How do you come up with these? These are so good.
It really is. It pains me sometimes. It just, I sit there and it's like, no, honestly, I don't know. But here we are, and I've kept it going so far. One of these days, eventually, it will just stop. And we'll just start. You'll be like, "We be live," and I'll be like, "I don't have anything. This is just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I quit. Let's just get to the damn video already."
Yeah. Wait, are we started? Let me just check. Yeah, we are started. What are you saying? How come it's not showing on the phone? Hold on. I think everything's working fine. Yeah, everything is working. Woo. Yes, Helen, we have already started. Hey, everyone. Somebody say, Dr. Hypnosis saying, "Yo, where'd the beard go?" Yeah.
I got rid of my winter coat. It's just that time of year, what us animals do. It's like when it's colder outside, you get a little bit more fuzz to try and keep the warmth in. So now it's getting hot and muggy, and
Yeah, back to Susanna.
That's right. Yes, that is right. Yeah, Susanna, actually, that's so funny because a meeting, Susanna was like just the other day, Susanna was like, one of these days we're going to have to show up on stream together or something to at least prove to people that we're not the same person.
The same people.
Yeah.
All right, so today we have an interesting one. Today there's a video called Female Topless Swimming Law. Yeah. Wonder what probably, I can tell what it is already. It's about these conservative people being afraid of women's bodies. I don't know what it is with female bodies that terrifies conservative people, especially Muslim conservatives.
Yeah, it is really fascinating to think about, because it does make you wonder what really simple tasks for them, how difficult psychologically that must be for them, going to the grocery store, because the thought of them seeing somebody in a tank top, right? That just they must just be constantly worried about that, which is something for me that just doesn't even come up on my radar. I don't even think about it,
Yeah. Secular Sakai is asking, is Q&A replaced for the time being? Well, we still do answer questions. We still answer super chats between every once in a while. If you guys do any super chats, we answer those questions, right? And also Pakistan Defense Force is saying, why do they move to the West if they don't like the stuff? Well, if I could put my Muslim hat on, and that's exactly where they need Islam. Look at all these naked people. Okay, right. This is where you need Islam the most. So I am here trying to do Allah's will and spread it to people who lack it, right? So that's how I would respond if I was Muslim. Dr. Hypness is saying, well, Muslim equals conservative. No, not always. We do have liberal and leftist Muslims. You could argue that Islam would not it contradicts Islam. Well, you could say the same thing about liberal Christians. Liberal Christians also, their belief system contradicts Christianity. Yeah. But anyways, oh wow, Higgs boson letting us know that he's very angry that I'm getting.
I think Higgs boson is channeling Smile to Jenna with that.
Oh yeah.
But either way, honestly, it's a great comment. Context or no context.
You could go and do whatever you need to do before we start the show. We can wait here. We can wait. We could wait here for 5 minutes for Higgs boson to just go and do whatever you need to do. And then, guys, let's just wait for a few seconds. All right, let's start the show.
Encompass Europe has become.
I don't have the audio. I think you guys have it, but I don't hear.
Welcome to another episode of Society. What has it come to? What has it become? Because of a lack of a divine compass, Europe has become a cesspool of liberal values.
By 3.5, Kieran had transitioned to a girl.
Hi, my name is Liana. I use they demon pronouns.
So if you refuse to date a gay person,
You're homophobic.
Men are not meant to be dominant. Men are meant to be submissive.
Listen, I'm ready for the asteroid. I've had enough.
Reported by
Okay.
I like how I like. Yeah, you go first. You go.
I know. There's just already so much, because first off, and I hope we all know this. I like to believe that our viewers are intelligent enough to know this, right? But like every position, every argument, every group, every thought process, all of that has some people who are wrong. Even though they're on the same argument, position, thought process group that you are, and that's the right one, let's say, there are still some people who say things that are like, hey, I'm a liberal, but I also think this. And it's like, oh, okay, well, good on the first one, not so great on the second one, work on it. So just picking that, just showing that back to back, first off, is just disingenuous, to begin with. So great start. Go ahead. I could already rant for like 10 minutes, I feel like.
Well, I have 3 points to this, but before I say that, Secular Sakai, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I appreciate that. Firstly, I like how they counter to that. They showed their favorite guy, which is Andrew Tate, to say like, talking about how insane all of this is and saying, I'm ready for the Android, right? Like, oh, there's so many problems with modernity and liberalism, and shows their examples of what they have a problem with. And then the guy that they like, Andrew Tate. So I don't know about problems with modernity, but I would think that Andrew Tate's ideology and what he represents is a bigger threat to young people than any of the things that he just showed us.
Absolutely.
So that one thing. Two, this is the problem with modernity. Like, I remember there was a time where people captured people in war as sex slaves and had sex with them without their consent. And I think we have come a long way from then, and we are better. And if this what you're showing us are problems with society, I think these are, if they are problems we rather have. Like, oh my God, modernity, liberalism. We have gone, like, think about these things being that the stuff that we're concerned about, rather than I don't know, starving to death because it didn't rain and we're not going to have a harvest. So I think overall we've been like, this is good. I'll take the direction that humanity is going overall. I mean, it seems like your ideology is the one that is trying to hold us back. I mean, you still adhere to a book that endorses sex slavery. So overall, I think this is not that bad, even if it was bad, which isn't, right? I mean, these are extreme examples. But yeah, I think I'll take it. I'll take all of that. Liberalism is doing good so far.
Yeah, still coming out, a little bit ahead. So far, so good.
Yeah. Just a little bit ahead. Just a little bit ahead of what you guys want to take us. Yeah. But anyways,
trying to be nice.
Yeah.
CNN.
Oh wow, we got a $10 super chat from Secular Sakai. Let me actually here. There we go. Yeah. So Secular Sakai saying, did you hear that Russia is recruiting 200 politically conservative American and Canadian families to move to a new town being built for that demographic? Are they even hiding the link now? Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah. This is no, I did not hear this, but yeah, the idea that Russia represents conservative values, and this is why a lot of conservative people love Russia, both Christians and Muslims, because they see it as a force of goodness against the evils of liberalism, right? So it's interesting how, and that's why some people even endorse China. A lot of conservatives in the US also do that, because they think like these are the countries that are standing up for deep conservative values, rather than Western countries like Europe and United States, who are letting liberalism and degeneracy just take over. Yeah, but this is interesting.
Yeah.
That would be. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but that would be a good propaganda tool for them if they did that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to
How about
see
this?
if I can look into it now. I couldn't find anything.
How
just
about
yet.
this? How about this? Take them, right? That's great, actually. How about
Just get 'em out of the
we
country.
send you all our conservatives and you send us all your Russian liberals?
Yeah,
We'll take that trade.
That's
Yeah,
actually a
for
good trade.
That's a good trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we switch? You take all the every conservative that you could get from America and Canada to Russia, and just give us your liberals.
We'll take that.
That would be amazing
I think,
switch. I
again,
think that would be an improvement.
I think we again come out a little bit ahead in that one, you know? Like, I think we end up just a little bit on the higher end. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Putin, give us a call. I mean,
Yeah.
or don't. Please don't actually.
In Berlin,
Listen, I'm ready for the asteroid. I've had enough.
reported by CNN, in Berlin, oh yes, Germany, they are allowing women to swim topless in the
Okay.
name of
Pause.
gender equality.
Okay, pause. I don't know much, folks, but I know this, that if somebody came up to me with no context whatsoever and said, a European country has just passed a law that has something to do with, topless people in public or naked people in public, guess which one, SR? I'd be like, Germany, France, like one of those two. Like, why is he surprised by this? Why is he shocked that of all the places in the world, Germany, a country which has a lot of laws already like this, why would he be surprised that Germany would do this? That doesn't make any sense. That'd be like, imagine if somebody said, like, can you guys believe that America, the United States, is now allowing gun sales at grocery stores? You'd be like, yes, I would believe that. That sounds like something very much in line with their country's history. Why would Germany not do this? That's just dumb. That's anyway. I would have suspected Germany.
I have a question though. He's like, oh, in the name of gender equality, they're letting women swim topless at swimming pools. Okay. I mean, yeah. Why should men be able to swim topless and not women? I don't like.
It
What do
almost
you?
sounds like he has a problem with gender equality. I know.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're like. It seems like the problem is gender equality. Like,
just switch it. Just switch it, and just be like, imagine if he was like, they're passing this law in the name of not letting children starve. He'd be like, well, that sounds good. Like, give the children food. That sounds like a good thing. That's this one.
Yeah. Oh, Asian American saying nice haircut there, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But okay, let me see. I want to see, like, if you're against women wearing topless in a swimming pool, right? You have to have a good argument for why male nipples are okay to see for everybody, but not female nipples. You have to have a solid argument.
Yeah, and there honestly isn't one, and that's just just the point. At the end of the day, there isn't a good reason to like require women to cover their tops. If we are okay with men, like, it really doesn't. There is no good reason. The only reason, quote unquote, I've ever really heard is probably what he's going to say in a few minutes here, which is something along the lines of like, oh, it just makes men just they can't control themselves. And that's like, that's a ridiculous argument on so many levels. It's just stupid. But I'll wait till he says it. I think he's probably going to say it.
I think he's going to do the think of the children kind of thing. But and I don't think, like, okay, so I do think that in the society that we live today, it makes sense for children not to see like female or male genitals, right? That they should adults should cover up where there's children, but not breasts. Like, I don't think children get traumatized seeing topless women. Like, I was a kid. We went to Spain. as a child, we went to Spain and there were topless women, and I survived. I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, Smile,
Right?
Smile
Like,
to
yeah.
Jenna knows what breastfeeding is, right? It's like exclusively an act where like young kids are with breasts. So I don't know. It's just it's an odd thing to me that he would be so upset. But
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think there is no good reason to restrict it, but I'm sure he's gonna pretend that he has some good ones. So
Yeah. So Pakistani Defense Force is saying humans used to be naked. What's wrong with that? Or look at the animal tribe. Yep. So I mean, I'm going to appeal to experts. Based on what I heard about from child psychologists, it's not a good idea for children to be able to see. There is some arguments for not full nudity. You know what I mean? Like not allowing full nudity for either male or female right now in the current society, the current way that society functions. So yeah, not for that. I think adults should cover up at least their genitals when they're swimming. That's something we're for. But again, if men could be topless, women should also just consist. We're asking for consistency, right? You can't have one rule apply to one gender and not to the other one, right? Oh, we got another super chat. Asian American saying, how do you feel about men consensually being walked around with collars, leashes, and pup hoods? Should it be allowed in wider public? What do you think about that, Secular?
I think, I think this one does. I do think this is something that is legitimately worth discussing. I don't think, quote unquote, just banning from public in general is a problem. Like, for instance, it's about to be Pride Month. I don't think that there really should be a complete restriction on a lot of kink things when it comes to Pride. I think some certain things, right? And again, I think pretty much where Armin had just laid out the line about covering genitals is kind of the line. And I think that in general, it may not be a practice that we should like promote people doing. But I don't think that it should necessarily be banned, especially if, again, they have the most important aspects of their body covered. I think that's really where the line is. Because what if, I mean, I've seen a bunch of people out with collars and stuff before, whether they're on all fours or not, whatever gender, whatever, So I don't know that necessarily in and of itself is a problem.
I wouldn't. You hear the thing. Even if this is allowed, it's not that widespread for it to be an issue. So I don't understand why we should limit it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like if we like, oh, we allow this tomorrow. Is like half the population is going to be like walking with.
And again, I
so
think
it's not like
and I think again the biggest issue is going to be related to whether or not somebody's genitals are out. I think that really is kind of the big sticking point, and I think that's a reasonable sticking point, honestly, because again, if we are restricting all of that, it would ultimately, we would have to restrict a lot of other things too to be consistent. And I think the goal, right, with rights and stuff is the right should be there, and then we kind of pull it back as needed, but we should have rights. I mean, that's kind of the whole point, right? Is that nobody gave me the right to freedom of expression. I just have that, that all people just have it. And it's like, okay, cool. But there are some expressions that aren't okay. And that's like direct threats to somebody in public, so that's where we pull that line back. And I think here, I think where we pull the line back is as long as your genitals are covered, I mean,
Oh, also, we got our first super chat from Tal Singh. So, guys, YouTube tells us if somebody has used the super chat on our channel for the first time. So, thank you, Tal Singh, for supporting the channel. And then two super chats from Tal Singh. Thank you.
And
appreciate that.
I think there was Newman earlier used their membership. That one doesn't show up on StreamYard, and said, "Love my atheist family." and it was a pride flag and a trans flag. So we
Thank
love
you, Newman. Thank you.
That's
Thank you. All right, let's continue.
Let's see.
Reported by CNN in Berlin.
Listen, I'm ready for the asteroid. I've had enough.
Reported by CNN in Berlin. Oh, yes, Germany. They are allowing women to swim topless in the name of
Pause real
gender
quick.
equality.
Just real quick, I swear I'll be so quick. Can you go back just like 5 seconds so you can see the article? Okay. The headline he is using literally finishes with the sentence, "The move reflects Germany's tradition of nudity." So I just want to point out once again, of all the European countries, it's so stupid. It's so dumb that he's freaking out. He's like, Germany of all places. It's like, oh, I don't know. The CNN article you're quoting seems to make it. All right. That's it.
Yeah. And Susanna is pointing out that this is actually pretty normal in
Right,
Europe, in many European
exactly.
countries. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Allowing women to swim topless in the name of gender equality. Now, whilst the women in
I don't know why he does the
I know.
air quotes when he says in the gender equality. This is genuine
It
gender
does-
equality.
It does sound like actual gender equality, right?
This is
right.
like, why are you doing the air quotes? Like,
not
this is
fair.
this is
Yeah.
real. Like, how is this not more equal? This
Yeah,
is actual
yeah.
more equality.
right.
So you can't like do the air quotes because you're a person who's actually genuine against genuine gender equality. So when you do the air quotes, it suggests that you would support gender equality,
Mhm.
but this is not gender equality.
Right.
But we all know that you are against gender equality. So why are you doing the air quotes?
It doesn't fit, man. It doesn't fit.
It doesn't
Again,
fit.
it's not the most important point we'll be making tonight, but it's worth pointing
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
in Germany might be happy with their rights, the men are going to be staring at their lefts.
This is the most haram video I've ever
What?
watched.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised.
what was that joke?
what?
Okay, let me get that joke. Let me try
Yeah,
to let's
Okay, one more time. Okay.
One more
To
time.
swim topless in the name of gender equality. Now, whilst the women in Germany might be happy with their rights, the men are going to be staring at their lefts.
This is the most.
What is that joke?
Is he trying to say that is he trying to say men will be staring at their left titties? Is that what he's trying to say? There's
I
no
don't
way
know.
that's exactly. I think what he's going for is to say while the women in Germany are happy that they now have gender equality and human rights, the men in Germany will be staring at their boobs. And I don't understand. Okay. All
Are
right.
are
That's just-
boobs mostly to our left?
I don't
Because there
think so.
could also
I
I
don't
don't know. I
think so.
think okay.
Yeah.
If I look at boobs, I would look at straight
I've
at them. I wouldn't be
This
like
is-
looking at them like this.
Yeah, I know
I
this
don't
is gonna sound weird, Armin. I know this is gonna sound weird, but I have actually I've actually looked at breasts on the left and right side. You know?
Yeah.
Like
I look at
like
them mostly
here-
straightforward. I look if
here.
I'm looking at breasts, I'm usually like looking at them like
You're
right in
focused
front of
in.
me.
But seriously, like let me just real quick, because it is what he's saying there is just yes, it is a lazy joke, and it's also it's also just an underlying just misogyny, right? Because what he's trying to do is take something that is a serious point, that is actually a step in the right direction in terms of legally considering all people the same. And he's trying to belittle that by saying, yeah, but tits, right? I mean, boobs. And it's stupid, and it just shows not only how much of an idiot he is, but it shows how against he is just basic human rights and stuff. Because if somebody comes up to you and is like, oh my gosh, like I got stabbed, you know, like, oh no, I'm bleeding, help me, you're not going to respond by being like boobs. Like that you clearly wouldn't give a crap about the person, you know? And so that's what he's doing. So it's just Again, just another stupid thing.
Yeah, this is what it is. Like, oh yeah, rights and all, but hey, boobs. Like, am I right, guys? Am I right? Am I
yes.
right? Boobs.
That's it. And he's hoping that enough of the people, because unfortunately, in many a country right now, we have politicians that would respond to shit like that because they're saying it. They're saying it on the floors. They're actually saying it in their governments. They're saying stuff like that where it's like, yeah, but ass. And it's like, oh my God, who did we elect? You know, like I thought we elected adults, not you know. Go ahead.
I guess it's hard for them to imagine a society being mature enough to just be like, this is a human body. This is just a human body.
That's definitely.
I mean, like, because they're at that level of maturity, I guess they can't imagine other people being above it.
Right.
Oh, Gaijin American just gave us a super chat saying it's legal to be topless in the U.S. 10th Circuit. Is that true? I didn't know that.
I'm not 100% positive, but it might be. Yeah. Yeah, it might be.
Okay.
And there are some like technical things, and you know, we do have our public nude places as well, but I mean, in general, we don't tend to like people just having, well, it's weird because like we don't want you in like stores and stuff normally without your shirt on, unless it's like right on the beach. Go to any beach city in the United States and it's like nobody really cares about clothing that much. It's fascinating. It is. It's very interesting. Anyway.
I mean, I enjoy. Here's the thing: I would like it for us to endorse more liberal things as a way to just make conservatives like, okay, these are not these might not be the societies that you want to live in, right? Like more LGBT, more, you know, if this is what you're sensitive about, then good. Maybe this is not the place you want to live.
Yeah, that's actually true. There's a couple of other countries that are not doing this, so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Newman is saying for the right one.
The right one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, like guys, do not ignore the right. Secular Secular Sakai saying, will there be an update to the legal fund GoFundMe or a new one started? Well, I think that would be something that we should talk to Susanna about. That is still going forward as usual, and Susanna, the legal process is a slow process, but it's going forward. So maybe on the new segment we'll get Susanna to give us an update about it. But thank you again for the support. Let me unstart these. This is a lot easier now to manage our super chats because StreamYard just automatically stars them, so I'm not going to miss any of the super chats anymore. So this is good.
That's good. That's a good.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all the support. All right, let's continue.
Most haram video I've ever watched.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if husbands suddenly start telling their wives, darling, we haven't been on holiday for quite a while. I think we should go to Berlin. Yeah, let's take in the sights. Yeah, let's take in the historical sites, and let's take a look.
There's so many other places to go see topless women. There's so many other places to go see topless women, dude. Like, do you honestly believe that this is going to raise the amount of tourism to Berlin? You realize that if you're coming from most of what is considered the Western world, right? The Americas, like that Western half of Europe. And so you realize you have to pass the Netherlands to get to Germany, right? So like, you're just gonna bypass the entire red light district. You know, you're just gonna skip all of that so you can go to Germany to go to a public pool to see like a couple of people's tits. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Apostate Prophet is in the live chat. Hello. By the way, guys, go watch the recent stream I did with Apostate Prophet on his channel. It was about the recent executions in Iran. So, and thank you, Apostate Prophet, again for having me there. Apostate Prophet is saying, why the FUK? Okay, I'm not going to read it because YouTube might like demonetize us, saying, why the FUK are Muslims complaining about something they are not supposed to partake in anyway? Also, just go to Afghanistan, LOL. Yeah, I mean, that's what we said. I like you guys move to liberal countries and complaining about it being liberal. Like this is how it is.
Shocking.
This is how it is. Yeah, shocking. This is how liberal countries are. So this is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
And
Also, he
then-
doesn't live in Germany, right? Like he's not from
yeah,
Germany.
he lives in the UK.
So what the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah,
dude?
Why are you complaining?
What does it matter? Let Germany do whatever Germany wants to do. Like,
yeah. I'm shocked. Liberal countries being liberal. How could they?
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susanna saying, yeah, as if Berlin, what? As if Berlin is lacking sex tourism. LAMO. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The recent stream was so good. Oh yeah, the stream that we did, guys. You should go watch the stream I did with Apostate Prophet on his channel. Also, if you're not subscribed to Apostate Prophet, what are you doing? What the hell is wrong?
Seriously.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to watch this whole joke that he's attempting to do here one more time. Listen.
Start telling their wives, darling,
Right. Well, watch this. Let's watch this whole thing.
we haven't been on holiday for quite a while. I think we should go to Berlin. Yeah, let's take in the sights. Yeah, let's take in the historical sites, and let's take a look
Oh wait.
at the natural sites as well. And if this as
Again, the whole thing is the joke is like, oh my god, boobs. That's the joke.
Yeah, that is the joke. Right. That is the joke.
The entirety of the joke is like, oh, boobs. There will be boobs. Guys, they want equal rights, but guess what? There will be boobs.
I know.
Like,
I know.
yeah.
Ridiculous,
That's the entire-
honestly. And this
Yeah.
is the reason why, by the way, just in case you're wondering, Armin. Wait, real quick. YouTube, this is a joke. It's a joke, YouTube. I'll say it again. It's a joke. But Armin, see, this is why we have to oppress women, is because boobs, right? You see,
because
women,
boobs, yeah.
they can't vote. They shouldn't vote because boobs. They need to constantly be covered because boobs, right? I mean, these are sound arguments, folks. And the atheists, the liberals, they just don't have a response because boobs. The reason they don't have a response is because of boobs. So, I mean,
Yeah, okay. I mean, I haven't heard any arguments yet. I'm just hearing
no, it's literally just been him
Really
saying that.
corny jokes about the fact that there will be topless women.
He
Okay.
hasn't explicitly yet said what I predicted, which was, oh, they can't be topless because then men won't be able to control themselves. But he is basically making that point by saying, like, husbands are suddenly going to start taking their wives on a holiday to Berlin and stuff, which, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, so many cheaper options. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Let's switch.
seen as progress and Islam is called backwards, then you know what? I don't mind being called backwards, frankly.
Okay. Well, then.
Well, you heard it,
Well,
folks.
if the shoe fits.
Yeah, I mean, okay. We haven't technically said that just yet. I think we may have
Yeah,
said it in
but-
previous streams, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. There you go, Darko. I mean, who has a response?
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
Exactly. Apostate Prophet is saying, I grew up in Germany and saw women sunbathing at public pools and parks as a teenager. Islam is just looking for an excuse to talk. Well, how did you? Oh yeah, Islam is just looking for an excuse to talk boobs. Yeah,
Mhm.
but Apostate Prophet, I don't. Are you okay? Did you survive that? Are you? Did that break you as a child? Like
Yeah.
having to see that? Like I don't. So it didn't, right? I think Apostate Prophet, guys, look, Apostate Prophet was in Germany and he saw that as a child, and I think that did not break him apart. So I don't
Yeah.
know what you guys are complaining about. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
really a wonder that he's
yeah, sunbathing
he's able-
topless. It means
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
How
surprising.
How did you go through that?
I know.
Wait, I'm assuming at that point were you a Muslim? Because I don't
Oh,
know how you
wow.
recovered from.
Yeah, that would have been. I just yeah. I get that. I get that,
Apostate
AP.
Prophet is saying, Apostate AP is saying, I have been traumatized by seeing topless women sunbathing next to me. Okay,
Yeah.
see, this is why we need to.
It's
have
like,
laws, guys.
of all the terrible things you could possibly see out there, it's like sunbathing topless women, like nuclear war around the world. You know, they're practically on the same level. So
Yeah. Also, another good point. Susanna is saying it's amazing how. Hold on, let me go up. It's amazing how when you go to a nude beach or event, you quickly stop noticing that everyone is naked. Yeah, it's just we've been trained to see this as something weird, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's just the human body. Like it takes very little time for you to get used to the idea of like, okay, they're nude, so you know your
Right.
mind will not. Yeah, you
And-
have to exactly what Smiley Jenna said. Your mind has to be poisoned with Islam for you to not see this as just something natural and normal. Yeah.
and he just like so many Christian apologists just have the inability to understand that, surprise, surprise, but humans are not always sexual, right? Like even somebody that is just like constantly horny and is just and everybody's like, dang dude, like chill out a bit, you know. Even that person, funny enough, there are times like when they're cooking dinner or something where they're not, it just isn't like that. And you have to be able to separate the fact that, oh my gosh, people can have these body parts that, yes, I am attracted to, but also surprisingly, they're not always in a sexual in a space, right? Like,
you know,
doesn't always have to.
And you could see that, by the way, by comparing sexual harassment of women
Yes.
in countries where they're more conservative and women have to cover up,
I think that's
compared to these European countries where people get to be naked sometimes, right?
Yep. I think that's a huge
point.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, go check like the comparison between sexual harassment of women in Egypt and Pakistan, and then compare that to Germany.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, where women get to be topless sometimes when they want to.
Maybe, and this could be, I know, Armin, this is going to be nuts, but maybe there's something about codifying in law gender equality that makes people stop perceiving the other gender as less than. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, now that I said it, it's weird. Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you. So let's get to the crux of the matter. Why on earth has this come to fruition? Germany's trying to say, oh, you know, we're a society that does this sort of stuff. We're comfortable and this and that. No, but this is not as simple as that. In fact, in December, a mother went with a 5-year-old child topless. Oh, yes, topless. Naturally, she got...
With her 5-year-old child? With her own child? Did she steal somebody's kid, or was it her kid? Like, oh my gosh. What? Like, even he would advocate for a mother being able to take off her hijab in front of her 5-year-old, right? Like, there's no way.
But this was in public, so that's what the problem is.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
no, I don't know. Maybe not top. I don't know. Islamically, do they allow? I don't know actually
She
about
would have
this.
to be topless to breastfeed her kid. Like, not at 5.
But what about in front of a 5-year-old? Like, is it okay for a mother to be topless in front of her 5-year-old boy? Like, I don't know.
So I feel like if you're in the boat of asking yourself that question, you have to know that there's something ridiculous about your ideology. If you're in the boat of being like, is it okay for a mother to like not fully always be clothed with her child that is still like under the age of 5 or 6? Like, if you're asking yourself that question, your ideology just has to be flawed, because that just doesn't make any sense. Why would that be? Again, I get it in public, but the fact that he's harping on the child, like it's her kid. Like, I'm sure the kid, again, this guy knows what breastfeeding is, right? It's a whole process. Like, it's come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, Newman is saying, send me the blasphemous art, please. I will today. I promise. Okay. I will do that. Thank you, Newman. Thank you for the support. But okay, let's see what the story is. But again, Darko was also saying, like, yeah, he just says no, just no, he says, like, great argument. He doesn't have any points. He has no points. He's just like, oh, this is ridiculous. That's the entirety of his argument. Yeah.
The crux of the matter, why on earth has this come to fruition? Germany's trying to say, oh, we're a society that does this sort of stuff, we're comfortable and this and that. No, but this is not as simple as that. In fact, in December, a mother went with her 5-year-old child topless. Oh yes, topless. Naturally, she got kicked out. No. But being the German version of a Karen, she complained. But the people...
Yeah, why would she be... Is that Germany? Why would she be kicked out? I'm in favor.
It might not have been legal at the time, and this might have been one of the catalysts to. Yeah.
Good. I mean, her complaint is legit. That's a good. Like she's fighting for equality. Like all these men are topless.
So far, I'm very much in support of this article that he's talking about.
Yeah. Plus, the prophet is pointing out that Germany has had a tradition of public nudity for 100 years. Before World War II, what the F is smart to Jenna on? Exactly.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I was saying. Like, it just, again, like, if you want to highlight this and you want to talk about why you disagree with it, man, that's fine. But like, again, just pretending as if you don't know about Germany. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just literally doesn't know anything about Germany, and just does not. He
lives in Europe. He should know.
I would hope so, but that doesn't. I mean, it doesn't make him smart.
Let's go.
People that are responsible for making the decisions actually went, you know what? This is a bit of a difficult one. She's gone topless. She's got a 5-year-old child. This is a thinker. And another case.
Why he keep saying the 5-year-old child? Isn't it her child?
Yes.
Why is that a big thing?
Why are you bringing this up, man? It's just dumb. And this is just a point to help him. Like, this will just make your argument stronger just by not wasting time with completely irrelevant, stupid material. Instead of saying anything about the child, just strengthen your argument. Like, your argument is this woman shouldn't be doing this. Just focus on that. The child aspect is nonsense.
I think it's a conservative knee-jerk reaction to like save the children kind of thing. I think he keeps forgetting that's her child. Like, oh my God, topless in front of children. Oh no, save the children. I think that's always a knee-jerk reaction that conservatives have. Even though they are the most responsible for harming children.
Oh yeah.
They always act like liberalism is harming children. Yeah. And they forget this is such a go-to argument for them that even when this is her own child, they're like, oh no, there was a 5-year-old child. Dude, what are you talking about? This is her child, is her own child. She can't be topless in front of her own child? Oh my God. But
it makes sense. It does make sense.
This is a good comment. A person prophet is saying the child should be at home learning about virgins in Jannah instead.
See, much more wholesome, much more age appropriate. Like, abso-freaking-lutely. I have no idea why that 5-year-old was out of the house.
Yes. He should be learning about how to take sex slaves eventually when he grows up. But yeah.
Case was that of a biological woman who, when she was stopped topless, she goes, I identify as a man. So because they've already opened the doors to LGBT,
that's a good way. Actually, that's a good way to fight for gender equality. Because they're like, oh, these men get to be topless here. Why can't I? Because I'm a woman. Okay, what if I like? It's pointing to the hypocrisy. It's a way. It's a good way to point to the inconsistency. Like, you want to be liberal enough that biological females could identify as men, which good. Well, then why are you not liberal enough for me to just be able to be topless just like men? So you can't have that and not have this. You can't have gender equality. So I think that's a good way to highlight how ridiculous the rules are.
Yeah, I would say it's something. It's a tactic used to, show the disparity and say this doesn't work in your system, right? It's an internal critique.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wish, just because I know just assholes like him are going to use something like that negatively.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what, makes me a little upset, but
a little upset because that's a line conservatives use. Like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
then I like,
right.
and not being genuine about their actual gender identity
Right.
and just trying to turn it into a joke. So yeah, I see that as
Although
I do see that as
this
a problem.
particular instance is the exact opposite of what they always claim, that it's going to be just some predator man that just wants to, go prey on women and stuff. So the fact that it was, a woman saying, which I don't even know if that's true. I'm just taking him at his word. I haven't researched any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but if it's true, I'm just saying, like, just because people use this as a way to be transphobic sometimes, it doesn't necessarily mean that this was her intention here. I think she was was trying to point out something else, if the story is true. But but let's go.
VT, they're going to have to do the same here, mate. But how on earth are you going to justify when school kids go to that swimming pool and see a bunch of women expressing their rights and their lefts and slapping them in their faces and in the faces of your kids?
Stop. Stop.
I don't think anybody.
Armin, I'm going to ask you this, and please, if you were too uncomfortable to answer, you feel free, man. Would you be against random people walking around and slapping random children in the face with their boobs? Would you say that goes too far for civilized society?
That seems like a bit too far.
Non-consensually is what I was saying, right? Like,
Germany. Why are you allowing stranger women to go to children and slapping in their face with their boobs? This is too far. Like, I you know what? I am actually now on the side of Smile to Gender. This is Germany going too far.
You're
allowing women slapping children in the face with their boobs.
Imagine just the freaking shorts, like the clip video that we would get from this. Like, it's an epidemic of just people running around slapping people with their boobs. Like, what does he think happens? Like, you just take your top off and then instantly people just start motorboating everybody? Like, come on, man. Like, what the freaking hell?
I think if this is the actual law, if this is what Germany is allowing, I am like, okay, this is too far, Germany. Okay, like, you cannot do this.
You can't.
This thing Smile to Gender is telling us what's happening in Germany. I didn't know. I thought they're just allowing women to be topless in swimming pools. I didn't know that actually the law allows you to slap children with your boobs. Like, I didn't know that's how far it's going.
That's right. And I want to say, because again, remember, because of gender equality. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter your gender.
You know what?
Just
that
as long
is
as
not.
you can slap people with your boobs. Anybody can.
Actually, you know what? I agree that this is in the name of gender equality, because men can't slap anybody in their face with their boobs. So I think I think that this, for the sake of gender equality, women shouldn't be allowed to do that either.
You see this, folks. We've been convinced. We have completely changed over. He got us there. Honestly. Like, that was. I'm thinking of so many
natural barrier here.
Yeah.
Do you know what? To address.
Do you know what the show American Gladiators is? You know what that show is? It's like these people would, get together and they would do these obstacle courses and they'd like fight and battle.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just now imagining people with like battle titties and stuff, which is just battle boobs. That would be and you'd have to go out and it's like battle bots,
A person prophet is saying, he's just eager to talk about boobs. Yeah, again, his poem is like, boobs. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Boobs. That's what that's the entirety of his point.
His mind literally went from, okay, women can be topless in public swimming pools now, which is not like the general public. It's a very specific place. Okay. Yeah. He went from that to they're just going to be slapping little kids in the face with their tits. That's what he went to. It doesn't make any sense unless he's just like so consumed to such a degree. It's like, man, just go like, like there are websites you can go to.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Secular Sakai just gave us a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Secular Sakai. Here's another interesting thing. I find it so amusing that he thought the whole right-left thing was so funny that one time was not enough.
He brought it back.
To address that. So the idea that our rights also refers to the right side, and boobs are too, and people have boobs on their right and the left side of their body. And he thought, like, okay, this is too funny. They're giving women equal rights, and we have boobs on the right and the left. So I have to make this into a joke, not just once, but twice. I have to use this as a joke. I have to say this twice.
I think you were being so generous to him there with that thought process. I don't think it was that in depth. Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I noticed that too. He brought it back.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
He
Man.
brought it back. He had to like,
To LGBT, they're going to have to do the same here, mate. But how on earth are you going to justify when school kids go to that swimming pool and see a bunch of women expressing their rights and their lefts and slapping them in their faces and in the faces of your kids? Bob
Just see, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Like, yes. I mean, surprise, man. I would not be okay with people just assaulting other people. Like, oh my God.
Wait, Apostle Prophet, how did you survive living in Germany, Apostle Prophet? As a teenager, did random women show up to you and slap you in their face with their boobs?
Beat you down with their boobs. Just killer boobs. You gotta watch out for those guys.
You gotta watch, guys. Like our Germans, watch out! People in Germany, be careful. Just random boobs might come and slap you. You make sure you cover the faces of your children if you're in Berlin. Okay, just a random woman will show out of nowhere and just slap them in their face.
I'm now imagining a family like walking out like on the sidewalk or something, like a nice beautiful day, and then just like two topless women jumping out of a bush, like beating the crap out of their kids real quick and like dipping, and just like it's so ridiculous.
Oh my God.
We will update you, folks. I will promise you, if there becomes a wave of boob attacks in Germany, we will report on it here. We will
Yeah, that is liberalism going too far. Okay, that is, if your children start getting attacked by women slapping them in the face with their boobs, that would be like, okay, I am a liberal, but maybe we should tone it down a bit. Okay?
Let's pull this back a bit.
We should stop right here.
Oh my God. That's the world liberals want, Armin. Just
Secular Sakai is saying this is the quality content I tune in for. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Apparently, this is what we should all be aiming for. This is why we need to reform our religions. Religions that want the women to cover up in front of their kids and strangers? What nonsense is this? What barbarism is this? Backward stuff. Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that stuff still. And you know what?
Yeah, we know you're okay. Like, oh my God, you call this barbarism and backwardsness. We want to cover our women. Yeah, we know that you want to control bodies of women. I think it's fit. Yeah, but you calling you backwards, it fits.
Yeah, and it's
you
weird.
Trying to. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Cut you off.
No, you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's weird. Like, he must know. Again, he has to be familiar with like the reason why Islam is like women are to be covered and stuff, right? Like, he must understand that. He must. It's like, it's weird that he's playing dumb as to what the ultimate catalyst for that is, because it's not as if it's saying like they sometimes pretend and they'll say like, oh, it's to make sure that the women protect their purity and so forth, and it's like, wait, but like what are they protecting? And it's like, oh, just so that they can be a perfect prize for a man later and like be pure for him. Like that's what it is, right? So it's like that. That's barbaric. That's backwards. Like,
Yeah. Also, the whole point of, I mean, in their ideology, the point of covering women is to protect them
right.
from sexual abuse. Okay, so they're like, oh, children are going to see topless women. I mean, I have not seen anywhere children suffering mentally where it's normal for women to be topless.
No.
Like children don't get traumatized over that. It just
Mhm.
they get, it's actually, they see that this is a woman's body and this is normal, and actually they might be less likely to be perverts and degenerates like you guys, because this is just normalized in their mind.
Right.
Like that's why in Europe you have less of sexual harassment than compared to Islamic countries, right? But even based on their own standards, why are you saying like, oh my God, in front of children? I mean, children don't usually I don't know any 5-year-olds that sexually abuse women. So why are you concerned about these children? The whole point of women covering up is to protect a woman, in your mind, against abuse of men, grown-up men, not children.
Uh-huh.
What do you think children are going to do? Again, no arguments, just like repeating your points.
Yeah, it's
They
been
accuse
ridiculous so far. Again, we're halfway through the
Yeah.
video and he just hasn't said anything of value.
Anything, anything.
religions with brainwashing kids. You know why these guys complain? Because they want us to clear the field for them so they can come in and sow the seeds of confusion in the hearts and minds of our children. You're a
Yeah, confusion as in women have nipples and breasts, and that's natural. And
Whoa,
that's
hang
what
on,
women-
stop.
Well, yeah,
That's
very
a lot.
confused.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a.
Okay. All right. I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it now,
Yeah.
Armin. But yeah, again, like it, I don't know what it is. I feel like this has been something that I've started to see more and more lately. I don't know if it's picking up or I'm just noticing it more, but I'm finding people like this are projecting way super hard. Like again, like recently, like I'm just seeing stuff where it's like like he said the thing. He said the exact thing where he's like, "Oh, they just want to, confuse you about this with your kids so that they can come in and take your kids and stuff." And it's like, dude, but we're the ones that are exposing the horrible things that people who have agreed with your ideology have done to children. We're the ones that are pointing out the videos where big time Muslim apologists are standing up there talking about how it's cool to be marrying a 4-year-old. We're the ones that are saying that's bad. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you could project so hard and be unaware of it. I don't know. Maybe that's why he's successful in this space. Like,
Yeah, I mean, guys, go and check any measurement of health, sexual health, mental health, and compare Germany to Islamic countries, and see like how much children, like as Apostle Prophet said in the live chat, like this is happening in Germany. We have like casual nudity for 100 years, right? So I don't think they're suffering that much because of it. So yeah, children there are growing up fine, especially relative to where to Islamic countries.
boy, but also a girl. Maybe you're a mixture of both. Maybe sometimes.
Oh my God, you always have to just bring in casual transphobia, even when the topic is not anything to do. Like, yeah, just like always do transphobia.
Right.
Like, topic
Right.
has nothing to do with trans people, but
It's
you
just-
have to just bring that in.
And that's, by the way, just again, for anybody out there that's confused, okay? Because this is why people will call people like this a bigot or a transphobe, is because when it doesn't have anything to do with that, You just
Yeah.
have to go in there and just be like, oh, trans people suck, blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. It just is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And honestly, it kind of shows that you recognize that what you're saying isn't of substance. Because if it was of substance, you wouldn't waste time with all of this other garbage. You would just stick to the topic. But
Yeah.
you can't do that.
No. Yes.
children, you're a boy, but also a girl. Maybe you're a mixture of both. Maybe sometimes you feel more like a boy, or sometimes you feel more like a girl. You know what? You're a boy, girl, maybe, subhanallah, inshallah. And if
Yeah, it's talking about gender dysphoria, something that has existed for ever since humans were alive,
Right.
and
Well
something that's
documented
completely
throughout human culture.
well documented and completely natural. And like, oh no, what a tragedy! If a child might be going through gender dysphoria, they're trying to make them feel like this is the thing, that is okay, that there's nothing wrong with you, not to demonize it. How horrible! Like, we're trying to make them feel
So
normal and
confusing.
okay and accepted.
Ugh.
And accepted in society. Like, we're the ones who are confusing them. Like, imagine if you're going through gender dysphoria and based on their standards, they have to tell them that this is wrong, that they're invalid, that there's something wrong with them, that they should, and that's what actually, hey, that is the traumatizing. Women seeing topless woman in a swimming pool, that's not going to traumatize them. You telling a kid that is having gender dysphoria, you telling them that there's something wrong with them, that they're broken, and you don't accept them the way they are, that's actually what traumatizes children.
Yep.
Yeah. So Apostle Prophet is saying they are allowing women to swim topless because they slowly want to turn our kids trans. Man, these guys are brainless.
I mean, that really is basically what he was saying. That really is like that is a fair interpretation of that. And that's just crazy. Again, that's just freaking ridiculous. The fact that he is so concerned about trans people just being able to live their lives, right? And just really doesn't like that, apparently. And then B is also just really upset with gender equality. Just really does not like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man, but weird flex. Like,
Exactly. All right, let's go on.
gender equality is really the flag that you want to be swinging around, amongst other things, then what about those men that don't get access to their children? In fact, 90% of women get access and men get blackmailed with their kids. Are you going to be including gender equality there as well? Because
yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
If that's the case, why not? Yeah.
Right. And that's what's so stupid, because I've heard people make this argument before. And wait,
hold on. Can you make this point while I'll be right back?
Oh yeah, I can ramble. Yeah, I can talk enough. So for anybody who's not familiar with this is an argument, and I don't think this is another thing too. I don't think these statistics necessarily hold worldwide, right? I don't know what the laws are like in other countries, but in the United States, for sure, more likely in a divorce case, more likely in a custody battle, the woman is going to receive custody or more custody, or just kind of be that deciding factor in it. And I am not here to argue that system is perfect, right? It doesn't have to be completely bad or completely perfect for us to say, hey, there are problems in this system. And none of that has anything whatsoever to do with everything he has been talking about. What he has brought up is a couple of things. One, it is a flat out red herring. He's just stealing red pill talking points and shoving it in here because he knows what happens is you get excited by that and you stop paying attention to the thing he's actually saying. On top of that, at best, what he has is a U2 fallacy. And that's not like the Irish band, that's tu quo que, which is basically somebody says, well, you're wrong because you also do stuff bad. And whataboutism as well. Exactly. Like, it is complete stupidity on so many levels. And somebody can surprisingly argue for fixing that system and also gender equality and other aspects. Like, they're not mutually exclusive. It is a very easy, in fact, funny enough, they're on the same side, you know? But
Yeah.
historically speaking, there are reasons why in the United States specifically, the laws worked out in such a way where more often than not, the female partner was the one that was getting custody of the kids. And surprise, surprise, in part, that was due to child abuse. That was due to well-documented cases of that and the likelihood of that abuse occurring in either space. So again, not only is what he's saying just completely stupid, it also has nothing to do with what he's talking about. And finally, on top of that, you can be on the side of fixing both things. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, you can absolutely be for both. So
Yeah, there are cases where the mother gets the child, or like, and it's
Absolutely.
unfair. Like,
absolutely.
there are cases, that is unfair against men. And guess what? On those cases, we are for gender equality. And there are many. I could give you other cases for gender equality, not favoring men, being against men.
Absolutely.
Like, we have men suffer a lot from mental health issues, and there's not enough
Absolutely.
support for them. Men do have higher suicide rates, and there's not enough support for them, right?
Mhm.
There are, there's a list of things that you could go through. And we support women's rights when gender equality is against women, and in the cases that it's against men, we'll also support men as well.
Yep.
That is genuine stance for gender equality.
Right.
But the person, but this, what he's saying is such a self-own, because the person that is not for gender equality is when you talk about women's rights and trying to make that equal, and you come like, oh, look at these men. What about men? What about men? You guys don't care about men. It seems like you're not for gender equality because you are more focused on when men's rights are not being protected, and you're not concerned for making that equal for women. We're consistent. We want that for all sides. We want this to be for equal for all sides. But you, who are only focusing when we bring women's issues, you want to focus on men's issues. You're not for gender equality. You're not the one who's consistent here.
Right.
By the
And
way,
we know he's not. We know he's not for gender equality. He's made this very clear. So
but he think he did a gut you on us.
Right.
Yeah, but you didn't, because we want consistency on all sides. You're the one who don't want that. Apostle Prophet, this is a good comment. It's like, when I first saw a woman sunbathe in Germany with her boobs out, it made me think I should have those things too. Since then, I am secretly trans. That's how it works, guys.
Mhm.
That's how these things are related.
Yeah.
If you see topless woman, you're like, I want that. How come I don't have that? You become immediate as a child. You see that, and you become trans right away.
We know that's how it works with homosexuality, right? You read one book, you have one discussion, you see one cartoon character kiss on a TV show. We know it. It's quick, it's tough. I mean, what are you gonna do? That's just.
Oh, Andrew Young is saying, "Oh, this is great." Also, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, we recently passed the gender equal nipple law. That's great.
Nice.
That's good for consistency.
I
Exactly.
like that. Insta-trans.
Susanna is called it insta-trans. I like it. That should be a term. Insta-trans. I see boobs, instantly trans. Like instant coffee. Yeah, okay. Insta-trans. Yeah, good.
That is, again, though, it's silly, and we're laughing because it is so stupid and silly. But that is what he's saying. Like, he is that scared that, like, I on some things I don't even know. I don't even know exactly what he's super scared about with the 5-year-olds seeing other people. Is he afraid that the 5-year-old is gonna, like, a 5-year-old boy is going to like tits? Is that what he's afraid of? Like, I'm not sure.
that would, from a conservative point of view, that should be an argument for
That would
topless
be in
women.
line with his ideology, right?
Yeah, because aren't you afraid of children becoming LGBT, right? So if you think children are going to see that and they're going to like it, like wouldn't you want that? Because like
No, it's
my boy decided like, ooh, that's hot. I like that. My little boy like, okay, now they're going to be straight.
right,
Like
and that's what I'm
again,
saying.
this is ridiculous. I'm not saying that, but
Right.
if you are wanting to be consistent, you should be wanting that, because if you're afraid of your children being gay, right?
It's confusing.
Again, nothing I says work like that. I'm just saying, showing how internally
Right.
contradictory their
Right.
views are. Yeah.
Trying to take his argument at like the best understanding. It is just
Yeah.
freaking nonsensical, dude. It's just dumb. Like,
Yeah. I was thinking like actually a conservative dad. It was like, oh my god, my son is turning gay. Show him some boobs, so that maybe like, son, look at this, they're beautiful. How could you not like this?
it's a whole new religious argument. Instead of look at the trees, it's look at the boobs. I like it. I see
Oh
God.
god. Yeah.
We welcome it. Will you also be doing gender equality when it comes to certain professions that unfortunately have to be dominated by males because women just don't want to do it, like construction workers, engineers, truck drivers, firefighters, and the list goes on.
Pause real quick. This is so stupid again, because yes, while there may be one person out there who's screaming that every job everywhere needs to have exactly equal amounts of men and women, exactly perfect representation, I think the vast majority of people recognize we don't live in a world like that, dude. Nobody's expecting that all of a sudden the sociological choices that people have made for generations are just going to be upturned with some words on paper. What we're asking for is that a construction company doesn't explicitly bar women for no other damn reason than the fact that they're a woman. Guess what?
Yeah.
If you want to go work at this job, you have to be able to lift 50 pounds unaided.
Yeah.
You have to be able to do that. If you can't do that, male or female, it doesn't matter. You can't be a part of the job. But if you can do that, if you just then go, oh, well, you're a woman and we don't like you, that's just a dick thing, man. And that's all people are asking for us to get rid of. That's not crazy.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
It's equal opportunity. It's not equal outcome. You give men and women the equal opportunity, and if it happens to be mostly male, because people who are born male are on average stronger, then let it be mostly male. But if a woman happens to have met the criteria, why would you stop them from doing the job? Like you meet all the criteria, but you happen to be a woman, so I guess not. Like, why would you not let them be there? They meet the criteria. So it's equal opportunity. We're asking for equal opportunity.
They're afraid of getting beaten with their boobs, Armin. That's what they're concerned about. I figured it out.
Like,
it's not bigotry. It's not sexism.
I mean, if you mix them together, first they're going to have to give them all the jobs, and they're going to be able to be topless. So, I mean, you're going to get like slapped left and right at the office with their.
Of course. No.
Okay,
how would we ever build buildings? It's just so dumb. Like, it's so dumb.
Oh,
and
God.
I don't know how many people have watched this video, but I almost bet you it's like hundreds of thousands. And it's crazy.
Yeah. 126,000.
That's nuts. That's nuts that many people like watch this, and the majority of them were like, you know what? Good point. Like, seriously, man.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually among conservative Christians and Muslims. This is just such an easy sell. Like, oh my God, liberalism, degeneracy. Oh no, like this just sells like so easy. Hold on,
It's just don't want to do it. Like
what?
I was just gonna make a joke and say it's almost like he doesn't want to go after other topics because he knows that he doesn't have any good arguments. Yeah, it's almost like he's scared, but I don't know.
But I mean, this is why, like, when they talk about Islamic values, they get destroyed. Like, you see that recently going around and defending child marriage.
Right.
Like, whenever they do that, they just lose so badly. So maybe, just keep talking about Western degeneracy. That's their selling point. Because when we actually look at the things that you believe in, it's by far so much more disgusting and degenerate than anything that you could imagine.
They can't stand up. They can't hold that view in public because they know how atrocious it is, and so they have to wait for somebody like Daniel to get up there and do it. So
they're like, dude, don't talk about beliefs. Let's just mock other people's beliefs. If we talk about our beliefs,
then we're gonna have to admit all the crap that we believe, all this terrible stuff that we want to do to people. Oh my God, guys, hang on. We got a problem. We can't keep telling them. We can't keep, upsetting people and saying that the left is coming for their children, because we're coming for their children. Like, once we get our way, like, we're going to just do our terrible stuff. We can't talk about that anymore. We have to hide. We have to pretend. Daniel.
You know why they're so afraid of leftists or liberals or whatever coming for the children? Okay? Because they want to marry the children. Right? They're like, don't come for our children. That's for us.
If you take all our children away, who will be married?
Who gonna marry?
It's horrible. But again, that's it's silly, but it's like, how in the world is he making some of these points? He knows full and well all of that. He should know all of that better than either of us. So it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, save the children from topless women and have sex with them. Basically, that's what they're saying. Yeah. Children will not be children cannot take topless women at swimming pools, but they can have non-consensual. But they can survive non-consensual sex. That is their standard, apparently.
That sounds to me, Armin. That just sounds straight up, in the Quran. Just Alhamdulillah. I mean, come on. If that's not, if that's not a miracle, what is?
Oh, the hypocrisy. I mean, these are people who believe in a prophet that had sex with a 9-year-old. And they're like, oh my God, the children are going to see nipples at a swimming pool. And at the same time, I believe that the best man in the world, the model for all humans on earth, is a man that had sex with a 9-year-old. How could you believe these things at the same time? I have no idea what they're on about. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre.
Ridiculous. And isn't there a story about like Muhammad getting breastfed by somebody so that they could now be halal to him or something? So you just have, all you got to do, you've got the answer right there. You just start breastfeeding everybody. Like, it's easy.
Yeah.
You all become, it's all fine. You all become family. Like, it works. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, Mustafa is saying Daniel Hagaju's laptop brand is so Freudian. Yeah, so for people who don't know, in the event that Daniel Hagaju, a Muslim preacher who's defending child marriage, his laptop was showing the logo of his laptop was the predator, and a lot of people that were saying that was so ironic. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the super. All right, let's continue.
Fortunately, have to be dominated by males because women just don't want to do it, like construction workers, engineers, truck drivers, firefighters, and the list goes on. Can we get a bit of gender equality here as well? And it's
what do you think gender equality is? Do you think gender equality is like forcing women to do jobs even if they don't? Yeah, exactly. Apostle Prophet was saying, does he want to force women to become construction workers?
Yes.
He thinks like, he's like, oh, men want to do these jobs more than women. You want gender equality, so you should make this equal. That's not gender equality, you goddamn moron. And like, oh yeah, let's go and get women by force, make them do these jobs and get them to do this 50-50. That's gender equality. Oh my God.
And notice. I'll make another prediction. I bet you he's not going to point out any jobs that are dominated mostly by women and talk about forcing men to go do those jobs because of the way that he views men and women to begin with. And women are the group in society that are told what to do and are encroaching, oh no, and taking things away from us men, oh no. But yeah, again, he just honestly does not understand what gender equality is. There's no comprehension.
He doesn't even have the most basic understanding of the thing that he's criticizing.
Right.
The fact that he thinks like the people who want gender equality, they was like, oh my God, look, men are doing these work more than women. Would you want gender equality there? That is not what we're asking for. We're asking for equal opportunity. We're not going to go and manually force everything to be equal, the outcome to be equal.
Right,
so maybe study what you're criticizing a little bit before you understand, before you make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
We say about liberalism as well, that they cannot prove their foundational principles. When they say issues about the hijab, as Muslims, we say the hijab.
Is that seriously what he's doing now? Go back just a little bit. But it sounds like what he's doing is he's getting to that point in an argument that I often see, religious people get to, where they just don't have anything to say. They don't have anything to say, and so they just go, "Oh well, you don't have God in your life, so you don't even know right and wrong." And it's like it's so nonsense. I think so. It sounded like he was about to say like the foundation of your liberal principles, like you don't. So yeah, let's see. But that's let's see
if your prediction. Yeah. You're getting so visibly frustrated.
Because it's stupid. It's so dumb. Yeah. It's like you spend 10 minutes agreeing with somebody and being like, yes, like murdering people is bad. And then they're like, and then after 10 minutes, they don't have anything else to say. So they just go, well, how do you think that, you atheist? And it's like, what do you mean? Like, what does it matter? Like, we both agree that this is bad, unless you're going to argue, Smile to Jenna, unless you're going to argue that marrying children is a good thing. We both agree that that's atrocious. Like, it doesn't matter where my foundation is. I'm sorry. I did.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see actually if that's the point.
And it's what we say about liberalism as well, that they cannot prove their foundational principles. When they say issues about the hijab, as Muslims, we say the hijab or the compulsory covering of a woman is the whole body except the face, the hands, the feet. And for a man, the compulsory covering is navel to knees. These are the hijab for both men and women in Islam. They say, no, the hair shouldn't be covered. And we go, why? Why do you think that your method is right and our method is wrong? You love proving stuff and going with the evidence. Yeah, when it comes to God, evidence. Give us evidence then. They don't have evidence. It's just...
They don't have evidence? Where is he getting that from?
Right.
We have so much evidence.
He's saying that you have no basis for claiming that covering the hair is right or wrong because you have no foundation to actually determine your moral system. That's what he's saying. And that's the same garbage that gets thrown around in the United States all the freaking time. Christians run around pretending as if they're the only ones who know what morality is, when in fact, it is only by stepping away from religion that you actually start to tackle the true questions of morality. It's just ridiculous, and it's infuriating because he has said nothing this whole time, and so he's pulling out the last final stop, which is just him going, well, your TV's broken. And so we're not talking about my appliances. My appliances could be shit. We're talking about yours. And you're saying that you have some foundation. Well, what is that foundation? And at the end of the day, what he's going to say is he's going to say a book. He's going to point to words. And he's going to say, this right here, this is my foundation, what this says, disregarding the fact that it's just filled with crap. It's just filled with crap. Whereas on the other side, you have people saying harm reduction. General harm reduction is where I start my moral system. And we add shit on from there. Like, it's not complicated, people.
Yeah, here's what we're arguing, okay? we're saying that a society has no right limiting the freedom of people unless you could prove that it reduces harm.
Easy.
Okay, we don't think that, because it's fascistic, it's authoritarian. It's we think freedom in general is a good thing. Okay, more freedom the better, unless you hit some red lines where you could show that the society limiting certain
Exactly.
activities is genuinely needed, and we have evidence for that. We can show you a lot of data how freer societies are better societies,
Right.
and how you need really good justifications for limitations, for laws. And you shouldn't give any government or any other body the rights to limit anybody unless they go through the burden of proof is on their shoulders. That's what they
Yes.
do. If you are introducing a limitation, you're the one who has to prove how this is going to benefit society. And if you can't, then we're going to opt for freedom, for more freedom.
Right.
This method has worked. There's study after study after study that shows that liberal societies, freer societies, are better societies. And liberal doesn't mean absolute freedom. Liberal means we protect human rights and we protect people from harm. And that's why there are limitations, but it's a limitation based on a utilitarian argument, based on harm reduction. So you're just claiming that there's no evidence. There's tons of evidence.
Right.
Do you have evidence? Do you have evidence that forcing women, you just said mandatory yourself, forcing women to put on hijab is better for society? Do you have a single evidence
No,
for
of
that?
course not. No, of course not. And,
So you're
and
the hypocrisy is amazing. You're asking for evidence where you have none yourself.
Yep. And I mean, because everything you just said, absolutely freaking right. Okay. And you do not get to just ignore all of that by claiming that the other side doesn't have the same starting point as you. Because that's the only way that the religious people take these conversations seriously, is if you have the same starting point. And the issue is that religion has screwed with people's minds for so long, and now they're not recognizing that what the religion is doing is it's putting a prime. It's putting an A prime up here. It's actually saying we accept A, B, C, and D just like the non-religious does. We have all of those exact same problems, but we just accept them and move on. Also, though, we add this stupid thing at the beginning. That's the problem. He agrees with everything else we would say. I guarantee you, when it comes to foundations for logic and how we don't have a great way of proving that, but we kind of just have to keep moving on. And like, we don't technically know that we're not brains in a vat, but whatever. But that foundation is good enough to get all of those studies, all of that data that Armin was just talking about, and show what actually is a good method for living in society. And it's not his time and time again, which is why he has to go to that. It's just a cop-out. It's just a stupid answer that doesn't actually, it's not a genuine discussion.
Exactly. I like how frustrated you're getting with these.
That's one of the things the Christians say all the freaking time. It's like you sounded like a Christian right now. Like, come on, like get back to your dawa, you know? Come on, man. Like, it's a bad argument the Christians use. It's been debunked over there. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's a conservative mindset. They all copy each other.
That's true.
But yeah.
That's true.
What's the cultural norm? And 10 years ago, the cultural norm was to cover the bottom and the top of women. Now, slowly, even the top is coming off. Not only is it coming off, it's coming off in front of our kids. And you know what? Give it.
Oh, the kids again.
That's so
the kids.
creepy, dude. That's so creepy. Yeah. The way that you said that was just super weird. Like, you could have at least tried.
Every time they say that, I have to remind everybody that these guys believe in a prophet that had sex with a 9-year-old. I just have to say that every time. But save them from seeing boobs. That's what the priorities are.
Yep.
it another 10 years and they're going
Not just a prophet, they're defending it now, by the way. Like it's not there's that, yeah. So they're like they believe in a prophet that they did that, and they're also saying, yeah, it's okay, we should do it now.
Muhammad Hijab said the Quran explicitly states as young as 5, right? So
Yeah,
something
5-year-olds.
like that.
coming off in front of our kids. And you know what? Give it another 10 years and they're going to be saying about the bottom as well, hey, we don't want restriction down there. It's bad for your health. Let
We
it
already
all
covered
hang
this, Armin.
free, mate.
You
And
already
the-
covered this.
Yeah,
You
we already
covered this
covered
a
it.
few minutes earlier because you were like, no, we do have some good evidence as to like where a line is. Like this is the line. Like
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah.
stupid.
But again, it's only because of the way that society is right now that this was going to, like in Amazon or in like tribes in Africa, right? Children are exposed to even that, and they are completely functional, and they don't
Sure.
seem to be suffering from
Sure.
it just because it's been normalized in society, right?
Yeah.
But like, given this, yeah,
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily it stays this way for the rest of time, right? But I think
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
now it's like, yeah, there's good reason to do one and not the other. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, we should appeal to child psychologists for this. Like,
Yeah,
this is not
right.
Yeah.
not this
Yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah, Susanna is telling everybody, don't forget to like the stream, everyone. Yes, guys, like please like the stream right now. Thank you very much. Yes.
the most shocking and surprising bit is how the women are not seeing how they are being sexualized. And they
Oh my
genuinely have
God.
believed that
You're the one who's sexual. Like, what the hell? It's the opposite, you idiot. It's the opposite. It's
so
the opposite. You're the one who says it has to be covered. That's the one who's sexualizing it, you moron.
He couldn't even have a legitimate discussion about human rights and laws without making a childish joke about boobs, you guys. And this is the asshole that's saying that gender equality laws sexualize women. I did. It was ridiculous. I almost freaking choked. Like, oh my gosh. It's insane. He is the one that cannot possibly recognize that a woman could have body parts that has nothing to do with turning you on, bro. And that is a you problem. That is a you issue. You are the one who is feeling this way. You are the one that is sexualizing women. You are the one that needs to go grab a freaking magazine and go spend a few minutes in your bathroom or whatever, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. And he says that? I mean, how do people take him seriously?
I think in their mindset, this whole idea of like, oh my God, let women be topless in the swimming pool just to be consistent is actually a conspiracy by some man. They're like, oh my God, let's put this into law so we can see
Right.
more boobs.
Right.
Guys, like imagine like there's a bunch of men like passing laws like, guys, like, oh my God, we're gonna say it's about gender equality so we can see some boobs, like a lot of like
that's-
grown-ass man acting like a bunch of teenagers like boobs. Am I right, guys? This law is gonna make us see boobs. Oh, it's so amazing. Like, but like,
It's because he can't fathom the idea that women could possibly have a thought of their own and go, hey,
yeah.
maybe this is maybe this situation sucks for no reason. And like, maybe we should tell people and change that.
Yeah, it's very telling that this is not about sexualizing women, given that the people who are pushing for this are mostly women. You would think that if this was about sexualizing women, it would be men who are like, oh, this is not consistent. We should make this consistent. But given that it's women who are like, hey, why do they get to be topless and we don't? I don't think this is about what you think it is, Malta.
Yeah. It's baffling. It's baffling to see how someone could be simultaneously so ignorant of a topic and also like completely projecting all of the things that they're doing like accurately in this. Every so often he just like brings this thing up and it's just like, oh, and it's like, well, okay, well, that's wrong, but like you're saying the thing that you're doing, bro. It's so weird because he clearly has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
that this is helping their cause of equality. How is showing your private parts linked to freedom? I just don't get this, mate. In Islam,
Well, okay, then let's cover up. Then if it's not, let's force women to cover up. Okay, let's just be consistent. Okay, like you shouldn't be complaining then. No, like hey, here's the thing. Let's make men cover up their faces. Okay, let's make them cover up. And if you complain, like, why would you force this upon us? Like, why are you complaining? Like, I would say the same thing that you just
this
said.
is helping their cause of equality. How is showing your private parts linked to
First of all, it wouldn't be private parts if you didn't make them force people to cover them up.
Like
right?
by definition.
So,
and he
by
also
definition,
said, yeah, again, he also said like how would like uncovering your private part make you more free? And in like some definitions, you could easily see because you don't have
because
anything
you're not forcing,
restricting, right?
Because you're making people free because you're not forcing them to cover up. That's how freedom works, right?
I don't know why I expect him to be better than what he is, you know, but I do. He should have that knowledge at least to know definition.
equality? How
Wait,
is showing your private parts linked to freedom?
Okay, let's force men to cover their ears. How about that? Okay. And if you complain, I was like, how is showing your ears related to freedom? I was like, I don't know.
Right.
Well,
why should
then let's cover it.
Why should you have the choice,
from now on.
Armin? Why
Well,
should
yeah, I don't
you
know.
have that choice? You know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Or-
Hey, you want to cover your ears while we're on stream? I don't. Hey guys, look at that. Look at that. Just full on ear right there. Okay, that's
Yeah.
my choice. That's my choice.
These
That's
are the same
freedom.
people who complain about masks and their freedom being taken away from them
I
because they
know.
had to wear masks
I know.
during the
I just-
pandemic. By the way,
I know. I just knew if I started going down that route too, I'd probably be getting more upset. And I wasn't sure that I could do it all in one night. You know, it's been so much. It just, yeah. I it's stupid.
Susanna is saying they constantly say it's about not acknowledging patriarchal dominance on their body, rejecting shame rooted in forced sexualization. Exactly. That's what they exactly. So, and Susanna is saying mandatory blindfolds to help save men from temptation. Yeah. And if you complain, it was like, how is you not covering your eyes anything to do with freedom?
Yeah.
I mean, does he even listen to what he's saying? It's like, how are you fighting against something that is forced upon you have anything to do with freedom? I don't know, Susanna. I don't see the connection. How is standing up against something that is forced upon you have anything to do with freedom?
He did literally like 40 seconds ago use the word mandatory. Like, so it's fascinating that he is that quick to just completely forget his own stance. Like, that's amazing. You know, it'd be like having a conversation with somebody where they're like, you're like, hey, where do you want to go to dinner? And they're like, oh man, I mean, like, it's Tuesday, so we got to eat tacos. And then like 30 seconds later, they were just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could eat Italian. Maybe, you know, anything. And it's like, I thought you said tacos, man. Like, just be consistent. Just be consistent.
Fish memory. That's what it is. Yeah.
Just don't get this, mate. In Islam, we understand the body, the private parts, and how it can lead to illicit relations, and then eventually it can break up the family and affect the society. Look how beautiful the laws of Allah.
Evidence. How is this going to evidence? Like, he asked for evidence from us. Evidence for any of this topless woman is going to break families. Women being able to swim without.
Society is going to crumble, Armin, because of boobs.
Yeah,
because of boobs.
Evidence. Yeah. Like, okay, look at the claim here again.
In Islam, we understand the body, the private parts, and how it can lead to illicit relations, and then eventually it can break up the family and affect the society. Look,
topless women in swimming pools is just going to break up society, break up families and society.
It's just so.
I don't know how Germany hasn't crumbled yet by some of this.
It's just so freaking dumb, because it is, again, it's just a massive amount of projection. Like, what this guy is arguing for is a culture where not only do we put women below men, but we also just completely strip everything else away from women except for the fact that they turn men on. That's
Yeah.
the only importance. That is what Go ahead, please.
I have a solution. Women should just express more often how horny they are. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because if you realize how horny many women are, then by the same argument, we need men to cover up all the time. Because their argument for women covering up is
I
that
wasn't sure where
men are horny. Okay, like okay.
Okay.
I think you haven't met many women because a lot of them are extremely horny. So I don't know, like I know, yeah.
You remember how earlier we were joking about like that group of like male lawmakers like snickering about different laws to pass just so they could get to see dancing? I feel like that's one of those, Armin. That's like, it's like, hey, what if we just tell women to just tell us how like turned on they are more often?
Yeah, because I think a lot of women are shamed into expressing how horny they are, right?
Oh,
Because-
absolutely.
So there's a lot of people are not aware of how horny women can get because the shame culture associated with them not expressing the fact that they get horny. But if these people are afraid of men because they get horny by saying female bodies, and that's why women have to cover up, if they become aware of how horny women can get, then the same argument should apply to men covering up.
That would blow his mind, just to be honest. I really do genuinely think like if a couple of women just one day were like, hey, by the way, I just want to let you know, like I get horny like pretty regularly, actually. I think he would probably just break down. Like, I'm not sure he could handle that. Like, he's afraid of hypothetical tits in Germany, Armin. Like, he's not even like, oh my God.
Susanna is saying, I think this is informed by the private conversations I have with Armin. Exactly. I exhibit A right here.
You wanted evidence, smile to
Susanna,
Jenna.
Yes. So, Susanna, thank you so much for coming forward and providing evidence to people. This is what we needed. This is what I encourage. See, like shame culture is just being destroyed. Yeah. More people need to know. Guys, women get horny. It's true. It's true. Women get very horny sometimes.
Yeah.
This is something you need to be aware of.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's almost like a lot of people enjoy sexy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's weird. It's weird how that it's almost, and this will really blow your mind, and then we can finish this up. But did you know that sexy stuff has actually been like the #1 reason for the population like the species staying alive? It's up there. You'd be surprised, but yeah, it's important. Yeah, it's valuable to get horny, you guys. That's the lesson you need to take away.
All right, let's continue.
How beautiful the laws of Allah are, because Allah has the picture, we have the pixel. We are biased by the laws that we come up with, and frankly, this is enough evidence to suggest that we're not really good at doing this either. Let's leave the decision making to the Most High. And guys, if we do not,
we're just dumb. We just can't make decisions. We're just dumb human beings.
And we should let Allah make all the decisions, because clearly he did such a great job by letting his final prophet marry a 6-year-old. Like,
yeah,
that's Allah, because he's got that whole picture. We just got the pixel. Oh my God.
Isn't this so transparently anti-intellectual? We don't have to think. We have religion. That's what he's saying. This is so transparently saying that, like anti-logic. Like, why are you thinking about this? We already have these answers to the we don't need to the goat herder's guide to the galaxy sent to us more than 1,000 years ago. Like, we have the answers. Like, why are you guys thinking about all of this? Like, oh my God.
God, it's simple, Armin. This is the problem. This is what's going. That the world is so. All of these people out there in the world wanting to gain more knowledge. You can't possibly gain any more knowledge than what Allah has already sent down. I mean, come on. Everything's in there. Just like where sperm comes from. You know, it's all in there. Super accurate.
Yes. It's in the Quran, by the way, and it's
know.
not correct.
Yeah,
So-
no reason to know anything else. Look
Yeah.
any further whatsoever. Yeah, mountains are pegs. I mean, come on. Why should we investigate that anymore? They're pegs. That's why the earth never shakes or moves anywhere in the world, right, Armin?
By the way, for people who don't know, the Quran says that sperm comes from the backbone.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
true. And
Not
mountains,
true.
surprisingly, do not keep the earth from shaking. I don't know if anybody's
Yeah,
ever heard of
yeah.
an earthquake, but they are real.
Another reason for us not to, when it comes to managing the family, the society, and the government, to not rely on ancient scripture that written by people who had no idea how biology works, how psychology works, how proper governance works, how any of these things work. Like maybe that's not the best source to refer
Yeah.
to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn our religion, then our kids and possibly even we will get swept up in society and pleasing other people. So it's important that not only do we learn our religion, but we teach it to our kids as well, because without Islam, boy, it is going to be difficult. And let's face it, guys, the society that we're living in needs us to be solid so we can present them with the gift of Islam as well, because this is an example amongst many that Islam is needed in these people's lives, because what they have at the moment, boy, is not only going to ruin them, it's going to ruin the people around them as well. Let's leave it there, guys, until
he hasn't given a single reason as to why Islam is the right thing. Okay. Like there is exactly the same weight in the arguments that he presented here in any conservative Christian, any conservative Jew, any conservative Hindu. Like there is no distinction whatsoever. There was nothing specifically that only Islam answers. Yes, Islam tells people to cover up. Ah, man, wouldn't it be terrible? Wouldn't it be horribly just destructive to his argument if a bunch of other religions also did the same thing? Like, because then you couldn't use that. You couldn't say, oh, Islam is the only thing that answers this. You just have to go to this vague, stupid notion of just, oh, my thing is right because I said so. And then you just move on from there and present everything as if you didn't say that. Like, but what he said, nothing that he said was exclusive to Islam. So, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. Again, I don't know why I'm frustrated by that. We've already seen videos from him. I know what he's like.
We just got, like, notice how we got to the end of the video and we didn't get a single line of reasoning for why anything he's saying is true.
Right.
Not even one. Just a repetition of, it was just a repetition of claims. And we have to agree with that because of what? And so hypocritically, he asked for evidence while giving none himself. Not a single one himself.
Yeah. Again, it really is interesting to me because we've seen a few from him now. And it really is interesting to me how somebody could be so unaware, I guess, and also still be so confident in themselves. Like, it's fascinating to me because, again, like, just something as stupid as him saying, how does getting rid of a mandatory law make people more free? Like, that's just in the definition of those words, dude. Like, again, it's amazing that you got something like that wrong. But then to go to such a degree as to completely avoid ever once saying any argument, any justification. It's I don't know why people would take him seriously. I mean, is he taken seriously in the Muslim community? Do people like look to him and say like, yes, brother, spreading the... It's crazy. That's so weird.
I mean, just to show how lazy that him and his community is, he had to remind us that they don't even want arguments because Allah has already given the answers.
Right.
I just said, yeah.
Crazy.
But I just got a comment from Andrew, which made me very happy. I like this comment. So Andrew's saying, Armin, you did a great job showing the harm of transphobia for kids. As a former trans kid, That meant a lot. Aw,
Hell
that
yeah.
made me so happy.
Hell
I
yeah.
like that. Yeah. Also, thank you for saying that. That made me genuinely happy today. I'm gonna, yeah. Lily Pad is saying, as Armin keeps pointing out, it's a staggering lack of self-awareness. Exactly. Yeah.
Fascinating. It is just incredible. I mean, I would at least be concerned enough, you know,
Yeah.
to like put videos out like that somebody would be able to do this like so easily. How many times have we live in 5 seconds like debunked stuff that he said? It's just try harder. I mean don't, because then people might start converting. Like, keep putting out these
No.
crap
Do
arguments.
try harder. They can't. Don't worry. Like they don't have any good points. Do try harder. But guys, yeah, but guys, this is a level of bullshit that is not getting constantly responded to. Okay, so if you want us to at least put some content, their channels are huge. These channels are big channels, and they're
amazing.
spreading poison and harmful poison. Okay, this, like you just said, the stuff that they're putting, they're telling, oh my god, the kids, what about the kids? But if you actually genuinely care about the kids, this stuff is going to be harmful to kids. Their content, their society that they want is not a good society for kids. So please, what I'm asking for is to like these streams, like these videos, suggest their channel, because there needs to be at least a few people need to see responses to this nonsense out there.
Yes.
So please help us grow this channel, like the video, leave comments, introduce our channel to more people. So, I mean, we're consistently, I haven't seen, so there are many good channels. For example, Apostate Prophet, that gives you all the basics that you need to know about Islam and why that's wrong. But what you're doing here, and we want more support so this channel grows as well, right, is a constant rebuttal to all this nonsense all the time. Like, I want us to get to a point where many people are familiar with how to counter the nonsense of all these videos out there, because they watch our show. So if you think there's value in that, please support this channel, like the video, recommend it, leave comments, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all of that. And none of that requires spending any money. I know we got a lot of super chats today, and we appreciate that, and we need that, but you could support this channel without even spending a single cent by just liking the video. So please do that. Anyways, so let's end it here. That was good. We did manage to finish it under 2 hours.
Yeah,
so
I thought it would take us longer. So we're getting better, I guess, at letting him say more nonsense. So, because it's just so easy. It's just so easy to refute. That's the thing. It's just so easy. Like, anyway, we love doing it. So.
Yeah, it's fun. We had fun. All right, good. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you actually sooner than that on the Atheist Republic News, where me and Susanna will cover the news, 10 news items. So make sure you subscribe for that, and we'll see Secular Rarity here again next week. So till then, bye. Oh.